what's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today we are talking with Mark Borjon and Ronnie Mayfield from Borjon Auto Center. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, finally to get you guys in here and chat a little bit about what's happening over there. So, Ronnie, welcome back to Borjon Auto Center, too, by the way.
Thank you.
So, you went away for a little bit, and
Yep.
now you're back.
Yeah,
So-
went out and checked out the United States.
Checked out the United States. Where was Iowa, right?
Yeah, I went to Iowa for 3 years, a little place called Washington, Iowa, and then checked that out and decided, no, this ain't for me, and came on back.
Huh. Mark, have you done much? You've been here for quite some time, right?
We purchased the dealership in '91, and so we're originally from Wasco over by Bakersfield.
Okay.
The wife and I both. So we lived over in Grover Beach for a while, and we bought the dealership. We felt that it was necessary to be in the backyard of where the dealership was. So we moved up here, and we now have a ranch out in Creston. And Jennifer, my oldest daughter, lives right up the road, so the family's all there. My youngest is Stephanie. She lives in the Atascadero. So as a rule, we have barbecue every Sunday at the house.
I like that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the family comes there, bring the grandkids.
Most of the time we get the grandkids, the great-grandchild, if it works out. As families get bigger, everything goes different directions.
Right.
But no, we're very close. We all leave in June for a family vacation, the entire family.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I think that's important, and that's what really brings home like the Borjon name. Family ran, family operated.
Yeah.
And it's family sticks together, works together, stays together.
Well, my wife Sheila makes that happen. So.
Yeah. They always do. Come on, Mark. It's always the wife. It's never us. We're not the glue.
By no means.
So tell me a little bit about Borjon Auto Center and I mean, just over the years of what you guys have done. You guys have been all kinds of different brands, right?
Yeah, I got in the car business in '76. When you get married, you have to have a job. So that's what it was. I worked for Motor City GMC in Bakersfield for a long time. I moved over here. Fred Roy and I bought into the store in '91. Fred has since retired. We were strictly GMC. GM wanted to put Buick, Pontiac, GMC together. Then Pontiac goes away, and now Buick is going all electric here shortly. They're down to 3 cars. So we gave up that franchise, so we're back to being GMC. We're the truck people from General Motors. That's our strong point. That's where I grew up, was with GMC. I've always been with GMC, so it's my passion. I think you feel the same way as I do. I mean,
Yeah.
When we had the King City store, we had Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. And that went away when we had a fire from next door that burned our dealership down. But we've survived. We're good. I'm personally in a great spot. I'm going to turn 70 in July. Got a great family. Everybody works at the store per se. Haley, who's is my grandchild, she's there. She's selling cars, telling me what to do when her mother's not. So
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to see the generation. Like I said, you, Jennifer, now Haley, and I mean, let's be honest, Mark, you're old school. The old school ways, the old school ways of doing business, marketing, or whatever. Now you have Haley, the younger generation that is all, tech and phones and that stuff. And somewhere in between, you got to transition over from the old school way to the new school way, right?
Not true, Randy.
No?
What you do is you take your phone or your iPad and you give it to her and say, will you fix it for me?
Right? Add this.
So, yeah, no, I'm not doing that, but she's doing it for me. So that's the good part, because it take me a month and it takes her, 25 seconds.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. And so, Ronnie, so tell me about your story. So you've been in the car business for a long time as well.
Yeah.
Was with Borjon.
Yeah.
Left, started another dealership.
Yeah.
With somebody else, and then now are back with Borjon Auto Center.
So in my journey, I started when I was 18, and I started selling cars for my dad at his little used car lot here in Templeton. And then I went and I got in some trouble. And then Mark gave me my first chance when I got back from being in trouble. Started out as a salesperson for him, sold cars for about 2 years, promoted me to his finance department. I did his finance department for about 1.5 years until he shipped me up to King City and gave me my first chance at 25 years old to run that store for him. And we finally started to get it going before the place next door took it out. Brought me back home, worked for him for a while, and then kind of went and tried out some other places to kind of learn more. And then, came back to Mark before I went back out to Iowa to try, and then he gave me a call and was like, hey, I'd like you to come back. So I think we've got 16, 17 years together throughout all of my career.
That's cool.
So it's been interesting. I always love the Borjons. Jennifer, back when I was like 22 years old, made me tattoo the Borjon name on me. So I've always had to come back.
For real?
No, sorry, it's a joke that me and Jen had.
Because Mark, I was like going, okay, now what's going on over there?
It's Yellowstone, okay.
And then I feel like I'm kind of that blend because I'm obviously in that generation that has seen most of the technology, but I don't fully understand it. I'm kind of the old school still, just from where I would cut my teeth and everything. So I'm kind of like right in the middle where I can kind of see the two and blend them. So I think it works out well, because like with you guys saying, Haley's really the technological side, he's really the old school side, and I kind of see both sides, so I'm able to kind of see where we can find common ground, because, I mean, old school still works, so.
Sure, the old school way, a handshake, communication. It's like the kids nowadays are so much, against like having one-on-one, face-to-face communication. They all want text messaging. It's easier that way.
Yeah.
But really, where the real old school ways are is face to face, a handshake, and communication. Verbally.
Yep.
So Ronnie, so tell me the difference of working like for not family, right, to working with Borjon Auto Center and its family. I mean, it's literally family. When they say family business, family ran, I mean, they mean that. It's not like one person and everybody else is an outcast. It's like everybody is family.
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing, a lot of businesses, family always works you a little bit harder, but it's okay, because at the end of the day, whether you get mad at each other or you fight or you do any of this stuff, the next day you wake up and it's, hey, we're family. We got to get over it. So coming from a store where I didn't really know the owners, and when I just couldn't get over it as well, you kind of held on to grudges or whatever it was, where when I get back with Mark and he finally says, hey, you know what, Ronnie, you're not doing this right or something like that, I get mad at him and I take it to my office and I sit in there for a while, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what, he has a good point, and we kind of figure that out. Whereas when you're not working with family, it's just different, like you just aren't as excited to go and help them out. Like I wanted to obviously make everybody successful because that's my job. I want to be successful, everything like that. But when you're working for family, you just really want to do everything you can in order for everybody to be successful. And you're proud of those moments when you do well. Or if I do something that Mark says, hey, we got to try and do this, and I'm able to accomplish it, it just means a lot more than, oh, hey, you know what, I did this. He's happy, so now I don't have to get yelled at for a day.
Yeah, right.
Not by you, by the other people, by the other owners, because that's kind of what it was. Or they'd expect more, which obviously everybody expects more family and everybody, but I just think it's more fun. I'm happier to show up at work. I'm excited to show up at work. I'm excited to see myself succeed, the Borjon succeed, everybody, build it up and become the best we all can be. Really.
That's awesome. Mark, what is your push to be so involved in the community as you are? Because everything that I see event-wise, the Sheriff Rodeo, California Mid-State Fair, I mean, you just have so much involvement within the community. What's the drive for that?
I think it's important that you be part of the community. I mean, we do sell a lot of vehicles outside the area, but it's important for me, and hopefully my staff and everybody else that this is where we are. We're Paso Robles. I sat on the Mid-State Fair board for nearly 25 years. We're on the trail rides. This is what we are. We're Paso Robles, and it's great. I mean, you can still walk down the street and know people. It is getting different because sometimes you go into a restaurant and you don't know anybody on a Saturday night because we have such an influx of people coming here for what Paso Robles has kind of become a vacation resort. In the old days, you only stopped in Paso Robles to eat breakfast and go on to the coast. Now we have become an in resort, and you know that's because obviously of the wine industry, our tourists, and people in town, our city councils, and everything else. They've done a good job of making Paso Robles great.
Does that help your business to have, as far as like, you know, people moving into town? I always say that, you know, people that move into town really don't know like the jewels and the gems, you know, the places in the North County that we know because we live here. You know, the Charles Paddock Zoo. Somebody that moves to Paso probably would never, you know about the Charles Paddock Zoo unless they drive by or attend something. They wouldn't just, you know that it's here. But as far as like the residents that are moving here, and then the residents, the longtime customers that's been here, does that help or dissuade people from doing business with you?
No, I think it helps. You know, reputation goes a long ways as time goes by. I think a lot of people have done their homework before they move here, so they know what they're walking into. I mean, when we first moved up here, this town was 17,000 people. Now it's 30,000, 35, whatever it is. They're building all those houses out there on the east side. The town's growing. I know there's a lot of people that say, I wish it was like the old days, and I understand that. But it grows. I mean, families grow, businesses grow, towns grow. And we've done a great job, meaning the city and everybody, of making Paso Robles still be home. You know, it used to be Bakersfield and North County because it got hot up here. Mm-hmm. Everybody over in Pismo, that's what, and but no, we're an inn resort. We've got a gorgeous town. We're just voted one of the top downtown parks in the nation. You go down there, it's fun. You know all the, the Laurents of the bistro. You know, Bonato. You know all the restaurants. You walk around, shake hands with everybody from the wineries, from the Chuck Hopes, everybody. I mean, it's what we are.
Yes, it's definitely a growing area, and then especially when you have to go out of state and somebody asks you where you're from, you have to kind of give a little bit of a explanation. When you say California, because immediately you go somewhere out of state, you go to Wyoming, you go to Idaho, excuse me, and you say you're from California, and you can just immediately get that tension.
Yep.
That feeling. You're like, okay, but hold on. So I always start it with, okay, before I tell you, let me tell you about where I'm from versus where I'm actually from. So it's just a different, it's North County, Paso Robles, Templeton, Tascadero is just a completely different part of California, which I'm sure you guys are as well, fortunate to be here and do business here. So, and like I said, as far as the community goes, you guys are involved with everything. So, as a thank you from everybody, thanks for being involved and, helping out those kids and all these different events here in the North County and being a part of it.
It's a pleasure. It's what we do. And that's what all Paso Robles does. It's just not Borjon Auto Center. There's people that do a whole lot more than we do, that give a lot more. I don't know that they love Paso Robles as much as we do, but they are there for everybody.
Yes, sir. So, Ronnie, what has changed the most over the last 16, 17 years of being in the car business?
Well, there's been so many changes, but it always goes back. So, we obviously had COVID, and that completely changed everything. I mean, values. I started in the business in 2008, which was not a great year to start. You'd have times where, if somebody was able to buy a car, which a lot of people weren't at that time because everything going on, you were just excited. So it was kind of crazy to watch that, and then it all kind of picked back up. You know, dealerships were selling, and now people are buying dealerships as much as they can. Seen it rise, and then we hit COVID, and it was like, okay, what's going to happen to the car business? And it seems like the car business is fun because it's one of the only businesses that's affected by everything. Like, we are affected by COVID. We're going to be affected by the tariffs. You're going to be affected by sales tax. So the biggest thing that I've seen that's changed, pricing?
So I was just going to ask you that. As far as
Pricing has
like,
really changed?
did you think when you started you would see the $150,000 pickup truck?
No. I never thought it would kind of get to that point, or, you know, where they're only given minimal discounts and stuff like that from the factory. When I started, there was times that they were giving $10,000, $11,000 off just in rebates. But no, I never thought it would get up to, you know, $110,000, $115,000, $150,000 trucks. But then you start looking at them and you see all the technology that's gone into it and everything like that. It's kind of like TVs, you know. TVs, when they first came out, were this brand new technology, and prices went way up, and then they came back down, and now you can buy one that's pretty much, you can't even see the screen, but there's a screen that turns on when you turn the power on. I don't imagine that's cheap. So,
But I feel like the pricing is kind of like capped. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you don't see those $125,000 vehicles anymore. I mean, you do, but you don't. It's like the pricing has dropped a little bit, it seems like.
We hope it's capped, I believe. I don't think we want them to keep going up, but it's really going to be all determined by the factory. So, you know, we still do see $150,000 Hummers and stuff like that. So they're still out there. Cadillac still has an expensive Escalade. But hopefully things are going to start to normalize a little bit, but it's all going to be dependent on what goes on in the world.
And Ronnie, how does the administration change and all that stuff, how does that affect the car financing and the industry? Does car sales traditionally slow down like in an election year? Do they slow down before the election? Do they slow down afterwards?
From what I seen in this last election, just because, I mean, we obviously just had one, things really got, I don't know about for you because I was out in Iowa, but out in Iowa, it really slowed down during the election. We all kind of panicked a little bit because it was kind of like, well, what's going to happen? Who's going to win? All of that stuff. And for us, car sales really it went dormant for a while. It was probably one of our roughest months. But as soon as the election ended, it took off. So I don't know if it's necessarily based off the election or if it's based off of who gets voted in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say that elections really affect anything.
I'm sure somebody out there can tell you.
I'm sure that somebody watched it closer than I did, but I did notice it slowed down before. And everybody blamed it on the election. And then as soon as the president got voted in, all of a sudden it took off for us again. And we ended up finishing the month pretty strong. So.
And now what about the proposed tariffs coming in? How does that look in, or any type of effect on the auto industry?
Well, it's going to affect the auto industry from the moment that they're passed. At the moment right now is probably the best time to buy, just because anything that's on the ground, they can't really add the tariff onto. So like, if they do pass it and all the vehicles that start coming in start raising in pricing, it's going to affect, pretty much it's going to have the trickle effect of affecting used cars, everything like that. But everything on the ground right now is obviously unaffected by tariffs. So if it does pass and you waited to see if it's going to affect it, you could be too late.
Yeah.
So if it doesn't pass, we're obviously in good shape. We don't have anything to worry about. But I'd have to say that with everything the way it's looking, probably the best time to buy is right now, just because you know what the price is. You know it's not going to change. Waiting a month or 2 months and seeing what happens sometimes can be detrimental.
Now, are you getting word that the interest rates will be going down?
I haven't heard anything about interest rates. We obviously hope they go down because they got to a point there where it was almost a little bit laughable, I would say. So, you know, when you just had, 2.99, 3.99% financing, and then all of a sudden we're up at 8% for, the best credit, it's kind of like, well, that's, how do you justify this? So,
and that's more or less the banks are making the money, not you guys.
Yeah, no, it's
so
not
whether
us.
0% or 1,000%.
Yeah, we're
It
unaffected.
doesn't affect you guys.
Yeah, no,
It's the
we're-
banks that are collecting on the.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's the first time in my career that I've seen where if you ask for, say, like people want to go shorter term because they don't want to pay as much in interest, well, the bank will actually have a higher interest rate for a short-term loan than they do. So like say you went
Because they're
36
pushing
months.
you to go to that longer term.
Because they want to collect that interest money.
Right.
So in that aspect, I would encourage people, just go the 60 or 72 months and pay it off early. Set it up to where you pay it off in 3 years. You're in control of the interest at that point.
Yeah, that's money in your pocket.
Yeah, so it's helping the people out. Like that's one of the things I love about the car business. And, everybody kind of gives that facade that, car guys are so bad. But going back to like you guys were saying about all the new people coming into town and does that affect business, I look at that as an opportunity. At Borjon Auto Center, we want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel educated. We want you to have the best experience around. So anytime one of them steps onto the lot, that gives me one more opportunity to earn like our other customers that have been buying there for 30 years. I mean, I've seen people that I seen 3 years ago coming in and buying trucks again and again and again. So we want to educate people that maybe how you're looking at it might not be always the perfect way because like you said, the market's changing, the car business is changing. So I usually will encourage people, hey, you can do it that way. I'm okay with it. As long as you're going to pay it off in that 3 years, you're paying that full finance charge. You go out 60 months, set it up to where you're on a 3-year to pay it off. Now all of a sudden your finance charge is less, you're in control of your interest, and you're actually paying less for the vehicle. So just helping people is ultimately what we want because I always say, and this is probably not going to be good to say on everything, but I'm so greedy, I don't want to sell you one car and never see you again. I want to sell you every car for the rest of your life.
Sure.
I want to sell all your family members' cars. I want to sell everybody. I want you to only come to me. I want to be your car guy. And I've always built my career around that. And if that's greedy, then I guess I'm greedy. But like, yeah, I want you to feel comfortable with me. I want you to feel like you can pick up the phone, call me, and I'm going to take care of you like nobody else has.
Well, it's interesting that you said that because that's kind of where my next conversation was going to be. Was a client of Borjon. They're long. The longevity of clients is long, and they don't even have to live here, but they'll come here to do business. I was in the service department getting my oil done, and a gentleman was there. We just started talking, and he was telling me that he was from down in Lompoc, and been buying vehicles from Borjon, or buying vehicles from Borjon and the service department. And what sold him on the service department was years ago he had this sound, this knock in the vehicle where he bought the vehicle was. They couldn't figure out what it was. He would always go back there, this and that. Go back there, same thing. He came up to Borjon, told whomever that he had X amount of dollars in his pocket. There was 3 guys, and he said, whoever can find out what this problem is and why this is happening gets this money. And he said within like 3 minutes, whoever that gentleman was already had it figured out, pinpointed, and fixed. And he said he's been coming up there ever since. And I go, man, I said, can I record that? And so then we did. And like I said, so that's, the loyalty, of customers because of the service that they get from Borjon Auto Center. So that's a kudos to you and your staff and everybody that you train to do it like you would do it. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've got Frank, one of my mechanics, been with me since '91. My office manager, Becky, she's been with me over 20 years. Kevin's been there forever. I mean, we don't have a lot of turnover, but that's our philosophy. Is we try to greet everybody with a smile. I mean, you're going to have situations where there's going to be something we can't fix, or should be fixed by the factory and they don't, or whatever. But we run a super high quality customer satisfaction index with General Motors, so we're able to go above and beyond what the normal okay on a warranty that we can do. Jennifer's done a great job on that end of it. We're family. I mean, when Ronnie came back, everybody was happy to see Ronnie because they were here when he was been here. And
he just fit right back in like a puzzle piece.
the prodigal son came home.
That's awesome. Mark, what are the brands under GM now?
GM right now has Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, and GMC truck.
Okay.
They at one time had Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and everything else, and it became that for them that it was overlapping a lot of things. So it doesn't really make sense to have them all. I think that's been with everybody. I know that they all went out. We bought Saab. We bought all these other deals. We had Australia. We had a company down there. Ford had all these. Ford owned Jaguar at one time. The thought process at that time was the more you have, the stronger you are. But sometimes you're better off being a small company and doing things right. Mm-hmm. Do you want to be what kind of master you want to be? You're better off to be that guy that can do that and do it right.
Just focus on one product.
It's easier. You got a better customer. You got a better staff. It's just easy. I mean.
So is Hummer under that umbrella, or is that?
Hummer was originally what they called AM Motors, American Motors. They came under their own. They were their own division with General Motors. When it came back as electric, it is now GMC's Hummer. It's under the GMC brand. It's no longer a separate division. It's a great vehicle. You've driven it.
Yeah.
You know it's a hot rod if you want. I don't know that electric is the way the world's going.
Oh, so you think there's going to be a change?
I think it's got to a point where the government cannot tell you what to drive, and I think that's what they're trying to do. We're trying to get rid of the emissions, trying to do this, we're trying to do all that, which in reality we're also creating a lot of emissions because what are we going to do with these batteries? Where are they going to go? What's going to happen? My deal is the government shouldn't be telling you and I what to do.
Correct.
We pay our taxes, we do everything else which they tell us to do, but to some deal we work our tails off to enjoy the things we want to be able to do and enjoy. And if I don't want to buy an EV, then I can buy my diesel pickup. It's your choice. You don't want to wear cowboy boots, you want to wear tennis shoes, Nikes, you can. I mean, but we are in Paso Robles, so we do wear boots, so it is what it is.
I think that, and that really seals up the Norris County,
Absolutely. This is, these are real people.
Right. We drive trucks.
We do.
We don't want to plug in and stare at a newspaper for 20 minutes while our battery's charged. We want to go up to the pump, fill it up, and we want to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, people up here, they work hard, and they want to, they work hard for one reason, that's to keep their family safe, enjoy the things that they want to do.
I will say, Mark, that Hummer that we got to test drive, freedom mode, I mean, this could get somebody in trouble, real fast. And we didn't even get into the different levels that it can go into, like off-road mode. We did do the Quadra Shack, which was really cool.
Crab walk.
But it was just, it's like getting into a spaceship.
It has its spot, and we do good with Hummer. Hummer's a good viable vehicle for us. Is it me? No, but it very well could be the guy down the street from me that's what he's want. I like that.
Right.
We used to think I wanted a Ferrari. I drive a half-ton pickup, so I'm good there.
Well, but you have some pretty nice old school cars, though.
We do.
So you've had some of those things, like, you have the Camaro, the black Camaro that was in the showroom.
We got a 35 GMC pickup stake bed now. You know, we've got our race cars. We do all kind. You know, this. I'm not real bright. I just have a good time.
So, Mark, that's another passion that you have as far as the dragster team, right?
Yes.
So you have a Ellie.
Eiley. Yes.
So she
was driving. Right now, there's no races scheduled. We have 2 nostalgia rear-engine top fuel cars. One is a Rain for Rent tribute car, and the other one is we're just finishing up. We're out. We did a show the other day, and I was very fortunate to have Maddie Gordon come out and jump in the car. So when we fired it up, I had a future top fuel champion in my car.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's Maddie's Gordon family's, you know, another Gordon family's another, you know, local business, local family.
Morro Bay Cabinets.
Yeah. And so Maddie's stepping into the seat of the top fuels with Ron Capps next year.
I understand they're building that car now, and it's
amazing. So it's such a crazy thing to see the people that live here, that's part of the community, you know, that, you know, like when we had Doug on here, you know, people were going, I didn't know that there was a world champion, you know, racer that lives here. And it's like
numerous times.
Yeah. 3 times. And then now he's coming back. Maddie's, you know, a champion. You know, they finished second in the world, I think, last year. And she was the 100th female to win. And then now she's stepping up into the big leagues. I mean, what kind of a, you know, fairy tale ride is that?
She will be 3.6 seconds, you know, 340 miles an hour. So in 1,000 feet, not even a quarter mile anymore. They're only running 1,000 feet. So.
But now, have you driven the car, your car?
No, that's part of the deal. You can. Sheila says you can go do whatever you want. You're just not getting in the car. You got too many other things you need to take care of.
But Mark, you don't want to just for a little bit?
Absolutely, and I could
put bubble wrap on you or something.
I could, you know, tell her a story, which I've done before. But yeah, no, we just, you know, we also have cattle. I'm partners with some guys. It's called Vacas de Rancheros. We run 140 head down. We got a 4,000 acre ranch we lease down in Coayama. So we got that. We're just really scattered everywhere. It's not like we have a lot of free time. You would think, and I know Ronnie's thinking that when he gets older, he's going to be able to sit back and relax. It doesn't get that way.
Mm-mm. Yeah, but would you want to? Would you want to sit back on the rocking chair and?
Well, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No. This is what we do.
That's why you look so young. Is because.
Yeah, okay.
Well, no, seriously. I mean, because if you really sat back and retired, like people do, and had no reason to get up in the morning, no reason to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and start your day and finish out at 8 o'clock at night. I mean, you just kind of wither away, I think.
Well, you know, that's the way I was taught from the time I was little. You know, I picked potatoes in law school way back when. It's the way your parents treat you, and you can see that. And I see a lot of kids today, and they're so respectful, and that's what their mom and dad say. It's like they'll come in and say, "Hello, Mr. Borjon." I said, "It's Mark." This, you know. And they'll say, "Okay, Mr. Borjon," but that's how important that family is to the U.S. and Paso Robles and everywhere else. It all starts right at home.
Ronnie, what do you do with your sales staff on a training basis? How do you keep them informed about so many different changes, you know, in these vehicles, electrics, you know, I mean, what is your approach to like a new salesperson coming in?
Oh man, the new guys, they have it rough. As far as product and stuff, I'm pretty good at training about like older product because that's when I was selling. The newer stuff, I haven't even sat in a Hummer. I'm not gonna lie. I need to get in that, kind of learn it and everything like that. But this is weird, but a car sells itself. Okay, when somebody comes and buys a car from you, they're not just buying a car from you. They're buying you as well, and the dealership and everything you can support. So the training is usually done through training through GM if you want to know all about the product. I always encourage the old school way. Go sit in the vehicle, go press the buttons, go see what each thing does, go drive it, go do all of these things. That's kind of my thing. I'm more into training about how I used to treat people. I say you never want to sell somebody a car and treat them differently than you'd want to be treated. So just being engaged with them, talking about more than just a car, getting to know them, letting them get to know you, kind of opening up a little bit, which is tough for most people to do, especially with the phones and everything like that. You know, you may post everything you want on Facebook, but if you're face to face with somebody and getting into a conversation, you're going to probably show, you know, some either trauma or whatever it is that you've been in. And being a real person that lays his head down on a pillow takes it away from being a salesperson per se, because everybody thinks salespeople are a little different. So I just kind of spend time with them on, hey, this used to work for me. Hey, maybe you should try this. Mainly just spending time with my people, either bringing them in, talking to them about the process. Sometimes I'll go sit in the vehicle with them, tell them, hey, sell me this car, and see how they do, see how they engage with me. I like to do that early on before I get to know them, because sitting here right now, we've already created a friendship and we've already got a bond going. So now you're going to feel more comfortable with me. Well, it ain't comfortable meeting somebody randomly when then within 5 minutes trying to, you know, do that. So I'll get with them very early before I get to know them very well and say, hey, sell me this car. And we'll do a walk around first day, maybe second day. I might give them a little bit of time to get, like, hey, go look at those 4 vehicles. What'd you learn about them? Okay, next day, hey, sell me this one. You just learned about it, right? So sell it to me. And then I'll spend my time with, hey, this is how I would have done it. Like, I'm going to sell you the car now and give them my walk around. That's what we call it. And then, you know, do the whole process with them. Just getting them more comfortable. But I want to do it at a time where it's not comfortable, because at no point, I've been doing this now, I don't know, 17, 18 years. And when I shake somebody's hand, I still get a little bit of nerves. And I think that's part of why it's so much fun, is because it's exciting every single solitary time you do it. I mean, you're literally meeting somebody new, and I'm not great at that outside of the car dealership, but at the car dealership, that's my home, so I have to do it. So introducing yourself, just kind of getting to know somebody, making a friend, and then helping them on their journey. I don't like to sell anybody anything. I want to help them buy it, almost like a friend. So if they come in and that's the car they want, my next thing is, how do I get you to want to buy it from me, and how do I help you best buy it?
Mark, how was it when you started? How did you have your salespeople? Did you do the sell me this pin thing?
No, I mean, that's the way I learned. And like I said, I work for a GMC store that's still in business today, same owner. You got to sell yourself. If you don't believe in your salesman, then you should not be dealing with that salesman. We have salespeople been with us for quite a while, and it's our way. If somebody wants to come in and say, "Hey, what's your best price on this car?" Well, have you even driven the car yet? No. Well, then what happens if I give you the best price and you go drive it and you don't like it? It's irrelevant. Mm-hmm. Because what you're doing is, when we're selling you a car, I want you to be in the car that you want. You're going to make payments on it, so you better like it. We try to introduce every customer to the service department, so when they walk in, they can either say hi to Kevin or Keegan and know who they're talking to. They can meet our Jennifer that does our financing, so you can understand things. She can explain to you the rates and stuff like that. You want to feel comfortable. Like I said, when I walk down the street, I don't want to hide from anybody, and I shouldn't have to, and I shouldn't, and neither should any of our family. When Ronnie walks out, I mean, hey Ronnie, how are you? And that's the feeling you want. And that's what we bases everything. And I think most successful businesses do it that way. You know, when you walk into a restaurant and the owner's there or the chef waves at you or whatever, that gives you that, hey, I'm home. I got a good feeling.
Knows you by name.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what makes Borjon Auto Center a leader in the North County, in the county, for car sales. Not only do you guys have the biggest lot and batch of new and used vehicles right now that you ever have. You guys are stocked more than 100 vehicles. You guys have service bodies. You guys have, trucks. You guys have a ton of trucks, probably more than I've ever seen on any lot. And then you have an award-winning service department, right? You guys have, specials all the time. I think you guys have like a buy 3, get 1 free on tires right now. But it's always like you said, welcoming. When I've been in there every single time, I've had a great experience. And I'll share an experience with you on my own oil change. I have a Ford truck, right? And I called down there and I said, hey, can you take this? Where my wife took it before, we won't mention any names, but she would just take it to like one of these little side things, and it was so much money. And I was like, wow. And so I called down there. I said, hey, Jennifer, who do I talk to? She passed me along, and they tell me the price. I go, is that like synthetic oil? You sure? He's like, yeah, no problem. I go, okay. And it was like so much cheaper because you think dealerships are more expensive. And it's really not. I mean, it's actually probably the opposite that I found. So I was like stoked. Told my wife, I said, don't take it over to that place anymore. Now it goes over here to Borjon Auto Center. So, but that's what you guys do. You guys take care of it and you have that repeat business.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So Mark, what is your thoughts on the future of the auto industry? So you've been through from
50 years.
Yeah, so you think you've seen it all, okay, right? Now what's next? We've been through, carbureted engines. Now we're into electric. We're into these massive, powerful, diesel trucks with, thousands and thousands of pounds of torque and this and that. What's next?
I think a lot of it depends on the administration and stuff like that. The state of California has their own air resource board, unlike the rest of the U.S. I'm a carburetor guy, but our fuel injection systems now are by far better than any carburetor we ever had. So technology's really gotten better. We have 10-speed transmissions now that help get gas mileage. I drive a diesel half-ton pickup, getting 30 miles a gallon out on the road. And with diesel, at $5 a gallon, $6 a gallon, it's important. I mean, I think down the road you're going to see some more of a hybrid deal down the road. I don't know if that will happen with diesel or not, but I think some of the gas stuff will be hybrid. It's, obviously smog isn't going to go away. We got to be protective of nature. All the manufacturers are trying to be more efficient, trying to build a better car, a safer car. Way back when we didn't have power steering or power brakes. I mean, now you buy a car, it's got heated seats and
as a standard,
heated steering wheels and everything else, which is way beyond me. But I mean, my wife would not drive something without a heated seat. If she got in the dead of winter, she wants her seat warmer on.
Remote start. Start from the house.
It is, and like I said, when we saw our first $50,000 Yukon, I thought this is going to be a tough sell. We're still selling, and that Yukon is now $85,000. But there is a lot more technology. We've got the screens. You can do this. You got XM radio. You got a Google Map now. There has been a ton of improvement, and I think that's going to continue. I'm excited as things go by. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be enjoyable. I mean, we all want that nice stuff. We don't have a black and white TV anymore. We got 75-inch screens, color that you can touch, and everything else. Thanks, Ronnie. You're really making me feel good. But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. I like it.
Well, as things change, I mean, obviously, so does the vehicles, but you guys are still one of the top dealerships in California for trucks,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So you guys pride yourselves on being the truck selling dealership capital, whatever you want, of California.
Yeah. Now we're when you look at what we're supposed to sell and what we sell, and it's more than twice what GM says this is your number you're supposed to be selling, and you've doubled that. It's because of our quality of managers, our salespeople, our technicians. I refuse to have an automated phone call where when you call in and you say you press 1 for this, you press 2 for this. We have our office, they will answer the phone. And they'll say, welcome to Borjon Auto Center. How can we help you? And they'll send you to that department. But the automated stuff is great. I just don't like doing it, therefore we're not going to do it.
And I think that brings a lot of value to why your guys' name is what it is because of that. You know, you still operate in the new world and old school way as much as you can, you know, to where that old school way hasn't been left and, you know, into the history and lost, you know, to the new ways. You know, everything is automated. Everything's response, you know, is automated. You know, nobody answers the phone. It's like, you know, everything's there. When people come there, you're greeted. You know, it's old school way, which I think is, you know, pretty important. And that's what makes the North County so unique and so favorable, why everybody's coming here, right?
It's refreshing. It's and it is. It's our North County that is that everybody's that. I mean, like I said, you walk down the street, you know almost everybody. You're shaking hands. You're saying hi to everybody. We are so fortunate to be living in North County.
You think we'll see 0% rates again?
We have 0 now.
Do you?
0 for 36
Okay.
on some vehicles.
Would you like me to drive you over there, Ronnie? Can you handle?
We can make it quick.
We can make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen real quick.
0%.
For 36 months on, I believe, 24 Sierras.
24.
And then 0.9 for 36 on 25s, I think.
What's the most term that you can go with now? Still only 72? Or
84 months.
84 months. Wow. And that's just because the vehicles are getting so much more expensive, you think?
It is. Randy, in the old days, you know, in the 70s and 80s, we had what we called, it wasn't simple interest like it is now. It was called add-on. And so you basically paid your loan down, the interest and everything, you paid most of that up front. And then as you went down, you did that. Today with simple interest, it's the same every month. So the way the interest is figuring right now for the car industry is better than it was in the 80s. I mean, 20% interest in the late 70s and 80s was a good deal. I mean, you had 10 and 12% interest on homes back in the 70s. You would take an assumable loan if you could. We're going to see, I feel, rates come down. I would love for rates to come down to make everything affordable, whether it's a house or car or truck. We got to take care of everybody. I mean, it's what it is, and I know the tariff deal is still for us an unknown because it fluctuates from day to day. I understand that everybody needs to be fair with us because we are the country that kind of, I don't want to say runs the show, but it's so important that what we do, that everybody looks upon us. But it needs to be fair with us too. I mean, we supply, money to everywhere.
Yeah.
I I mean, Ukraine, we do everything for everybody, and sometimes it needs to be reciprocal.
Of course. Did you think the auto industry, or at least your business, during the start of COVID, do you think that was, you're like, this is it, we're done?
No, because I've been through the high interest rates when flooring costs were 20% and all that. I was probably not as worried about COVID. I took my shots because I had to, because we fly. I think North County was probably the area that was least worried or running from COVID. I mean, all our businesses in this town figured out how to make restaurants outside, do this, do that.
I really like that, by the way.
It's neat. It's like being in Europe in some places and stuff like that. So, you know, everybody, we're a strong community. I mean, everybody did what they had to do, and everybody supported. We still went out there. I mean, obviously, COVID is not what they thought it was. And, well, I know there's a lot of people that didn't take shots. You know, it's a strange. It's something we might not ever see. I mean, maybe it was way back there with smallpox, you know, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. But it's my first. It's, you know, when you have a granddaughter that can't graduate from high school because it has to go, you have to be outside. You can't do this. You can't do that. You know, and you don't have school. You don't have that. It's. I think it made us as you know, citizens, stronger people. I don't know.
Definitely was a weird time.
Well,
I mean, there's the only reason I like that time, because it really made people, it grounded people. It brought people back together. It made people realize that supporting local was more important than buying abroad, buying somewhere else. You know, now, you know, businesses, you know, like you, such as yourself, people want to give that hometown business the opportunity to sell them that vehicle. You know, do business locally. If you can't, okay, but at least you gave the local guy the opportunity to earn your business. And that's what I liked about COVID, because I think it really kind of brought people back and reeled them back into what's important, at least here in the North County, as far as, you know, friends, family, and, you know, supporting local.
Absolutely.
So, well, awesome, gentlemen. Well, we appreciate you guys coming in. Mark, I'm happy to finally get you in here, and hopefully it's not the last time. And you know, we appreciate your support and sponsorship with What's Up North County and all the other, you know, events and organizations and schools and things that you guys support over there, because you guys do support a lot. And, you know, I'll just say thank you for that and for your involvement in the community.
And the same to you, Randy.
Yes, thank you. Ronnie, welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and hopefully we can do some more of these. Maybe get some sales staff in and do some stuff there on location as well. Because, like I said, we have fun doing that, doing some test drives, get you in that Hummer, find that freedom zone, that freedom
Still trying
drive.
to get Mark in the Hummer.
Oh,
I think he needs it.
No.
Mark's the one that said take him out in there into that Hummer, and that freedom's button or whatever you call that is pretty crazy. So it's almost scary. It's borderline scary to where it's like, this shouldn't be like an option in any vehicle that I have.
Not on a public road.
Awesome, gentlemen. Well, thanks for coming on and sharing the story and the opportunity, and look forward to some more stuff with Borjon Auto Center.
Sounds great.
Randy,
Yep.
thank you for everything you do.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you, Ronnie, and welcome back.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Welcome
Thank you,
back
sir.
to the Sunshine State, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's nice.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to What's Up North County and Borjon Auto Center. Get yourself over there, because you guys don't want to pass up the opportunity. Down to 0% financing. They've got a lot full of trucks, utility beds. They've got everything and anything that you can need. Get down there and check out those Hummers as well. I know I did. But as always, guys, we can't do this without you and our sponsor. Center. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Hi, it's Alex with Suprema Meat Market. We are a Mexican meat market with a taqueria. Come enjoy our high-quality cuts and meats. We offer choice and prime Harris Ranch beef, as well as chicken, seafood, and pork items. In the taqueria, all of our tacos come with handmade tortillas. We also offer specialty items like chilaquiles and chile rellenos. Come enjoy Taco Tuesday with Suprema. We offer our tacos at $1.99 each. Suprema Meat Market is located at 8950 Montecito Avenue in Atascadero.
Are you tired of looking at that worn-out concrete garage floor, patio, or porch? Look no further than MGP Coatings, where customer service reigns supreme. Our team goes above and beyond to ensure your satisfaction every step of the way. Before we even start coating, we meticulously repair your concrete, ensuring a flawless finish that lasts. And here's the best part. Our Pentec coatings are 4 times stronger than epoxy, so they won't chip or peel, making maintenance a breeze. Plus, they come with a limited lifetime warranty. Call us today at 805-952-5301 or check out our Facebook and Instagram and experience the MGP coating difference. Don't wait. Transform your garage, patio, porch, or driveway and become a part of the MGP coating family.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Hi, this is Omid
and Deanna
at North County Junk Removal. We are a business known for helping our neighbors and our community.
Let us help you save money and get rid of any unwanted items.
And rest assured that our professional team adheres to global standards of safety and recycling. We are fully licensed and insured for your peace of mind.
We are locally owned and operated, and we look forward to helping you with all your junk removal needs.
Please call us at 805-769-6966.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.